Meeting of Henderson County Fiscal Court. We are glad you are with us today, and for those watching online, we're glad you're with us as well. We'll begin, as we always do, with an invocation, and Father Richard Meredith from Holy Name Jesus Catholic Church is with us to lead us in prayer. Please stand.
My first time in a courtroom and going into one of these seats, I almost genuflected because it was so like a church. So let us pray. Almighty God, we ask of you grace and wisdom, intelligence, moral responsibility, and the blessings of insight for this fiscal court and for this county they serve. And we pray for the county and for all of its people, for citizens to exercise all responsibilities of self-government, to listen to each other, to consider each other, and to seek together the well-being of this entire place. For you have entrusted us with each other, and each of us shares some dominion that you gave the human race for this planet. So guide us in all things, and keep us humble before you. For we ask all these blessings in your holy name. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Father. Appreciate that. Always nice to have you visit. And we don't try to make it church-like, but it's important stuff, right? So, gentlemen, you have in your packet the minutes of the August 26, 2025 Fiscal Court meeting. I will take a roll call first, and then we'll get to the minutes.
Magistrate Starks is absent. Magistrate Berry.
Here.
Magistrate Southard.
Here.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Yes, ma'am.
And Magistrate Putnam.
Here.
After review of the minutes, I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any corrections, additions, clarifications? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it's a busy agenda, but we begin with the first Judges Scholar of the new school year, Emily Tucker from Holy Name, and it's always fun to get these Judges Scholars rolling because it's such a great thing to honor our best and brightest. So I'm going to ask Emily to join me right up here in front of the dais. All right, we're going to read a proclamation in your honor.
Whereas Emily Tucker has been chosen by Holy Name School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Award for exceptional efforts in both academics and school activities, and whereas Emily's hard work and dedication in making the most of educational experiences and developing positive relationships with teachers and other students will lead to future success, and whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring the winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement. And whereas Holy Name School could not let Emily's efforts go unnoticed, and whereas Henderson County Fiscal Court supports Holy Name School and acknowledges these accomplishments as being significant because students such as Emily Tucker will be our future leaders. And now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim September 9th, 2025 as Emily Tucker Day.
Take some pictures, celebrities have to do with paparazzi.
Right.
Come over here. And then we'll take some. Come on up. Everybody come on up. Come on up.
Well, she's secretly I get it. Color commentary. But you're wrong. Yes. He is.
Oh, we didn't mention the special called minutes. We only mentioned the August minutes and not the special called meeting minutes.
Congratulations, Emily. I know your family's proud and school's proud for you, and it's really cool to have your own day. And so now you get to hang out from this side, see how the sausage is made, and you just got to fight the urge to cast votes. You're really not supposed to, but I know it'll be fun. So congratulations. Glad you're with us. One thing we also have to do is approve the minutes of the special called meeting, the workshop we had last week, and so I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have with us Kensington Eck, Executive Director. Tim, would you do me a favor and move that podium back? I forgot to do that. For Kensington, she is Executive Director of the Henderson Area Arts Alliance. Good job. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Kensington, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, I'm honored to be here on Emily Tucker Day, so what a special day to be here to present to the Fiscal Court. Thank you all for having me. I will say, I think in my speeches in town, I'm known for speaking at great length about something I'm passionate about, so I will do my best to stick to 5 minutes. This will be an abridged version of what we do at the Henderson Area Arts Alliance. As you said, my name is Kensington Eck, and I am rounding out my first full year, and this is my first season presenting as the Executive Director. So, people ask me, what does HA do? Don't you guys just put shows on? Yes, and a little bit more. Our mission is to educate, elevate, and entertain Henderson, Webster, and Union counties, and then any surrounding counties that would like to come and join in on the fun. And we do that through this whole list of things that are up there, which is our free annual summer camp, school performances, outreach opportunities, affordable ticket prices. We are the lowest ticket prices in town for and around for professional performances. We do it through volunteering, through diverse programming opportunities, discounted and complimentary tickets, targeted partnerships. We do a lot. Now, how is that possible? Through this list of folks up there on the stage, including the Fiscal Court. We receive funding through the city, through the county, through the Kentucky Arts Council, our John Stanley Hoffman donors, individual donors, corporate grants. We'll basically take money from just about wherever. If you love the arts, we love you, so come on board and let's do some good things together. Now, what does your money support? Artist fees. So in the pre-COVID world, I am looking forward to a world where we don't have to say that C word, but in a pre-COVID world, a Broadway tour could come through for a one-nighter, which is what we do, for $25,000 for the artist fees alone. Post-COVID, that same show, exact same show, minimum $45,000. So the world has gotten more expensive, as we all know. So you go to supporting artist fees, production costs, so that includes our technical labor, hospitality, rentals, our educational initiatives, helping keep our ticket prices low. Our individual tickets range between $30 and $40 for a professional production. And then our annual free summer camp and much, much more. So I brought a couple pictures to share from our summer camp this year. So this would have been my third summer camp with the Arts Alliance. I was in another position prior to being the executive director. And for our first two camps, we saw an enrollment of about 30 kids, and which is fine, but I wanted to do more. I was a teacher before I came to HA, and I know the value of a really great artistic educational experience. Our enrollment got up to 83 campers this year. And that is a lot of children in one space and on one stage. But it was one of the most exciting things that we've done while I've been at HA. These kids not only got on stage and did a show, which, I mean, I think that as parents, we get excited when our kid is able to go up and speak in front of people. We're just excited about that standard. But these kids were able to memorize. They were able to create characters. They were able to learn songs and choreography. They had 4 days to do it because we presented the show on the 5th day, and that was a 45-minute musical. So we did that. I directed the show, and then we invited educators from Henderson, Union, and Webster Westchester County to come and join us for that. We had 11 educators who spent a week of their summer with their students. We had kids that came from 22 different schools to join us. A lot of them came because they were so excited to work with their teachers in a non-contingent setting. I heard so many kids who were like, "Oh my gosh, Mrs. Travis, it's summer and you're wearing shorts." They thought it was so cool their teachers were wearing shorts. But they got to get up on the stage, and so there's just a couple different pictures of what the kiddos did. They got to learn about auditioning and the rehearsal process. They learned different blocking and vocabulary. They learned backstage etiquette. That is about 20 vampires backstage, because this camp was called We Are Monsters, and we learned that not all monsters are bad. We learned about confidence on stage. That young lady had the only solo in the show, and she was up there performing for 350 people, all on her own. That non-contingent time I talked about, it's so valuable for children to get to hang out with their teachers and build those relationships, because whenever school gets hard, the relationships is what keeps them excited and it's what keeps them going. And so these kiddos were thrilled to get to spend those times with their teachers and with me. I got to get to know 83 different kids, and that was really special. Those kids do come up to me now and they're like, "Oh, you know me." I do know you. You were the star on stage. So that was really special. They had a really good time. And not only did we get to rehearse together, but you'll get to hear the kids. This might get loud. I'm not sure what your volume is at. But we celebrated together. This was our 10-second dance party, where we celebrated a sponsor who came on board for the summer camp, because they got to learn that arts are not free, that we have people in the community who support us. So our friend Chase Fulcher came in to present a check to us, and we had a 10-second dance party to celebrate that generosity. And the kids had some wonderful questions for him, including, "Are you rich? Where did that money come from? And why do you like the arts so much?" Chase's responses were, "I was rich till I gave you my money," which was very funny. But he said, "I like the arts so much because whenever I give this money to a program like this, it helps you guys become better citizens of the world." And it really did ring true for several of those kids. I actually had a kid ask me how many years HA had been around, and I told him 31. He said, "I'm bringing you 31 cents to the show." And he made a donation for 31 cents, which for a 10-year-old is a pretty solid donation. We were very excited about that. So they learned a lot, and then they got to sign the wall at the PAC, which is what all the famous people who have come through, Leanne Rimes and all of the people who have toured through for the last 31 years have done it. So have all of these children. So there's lots of different signatures up there, and they are part of the history of the Preston Arts Center now. So one of my favorite initiatives, it was a week of memories. I'm still tired, but it was worthwhile, and I'm already looking forward to doing it again next year. This was free for all of the children to participate, and we did not charge money for people to come in and see the show. They could make donations if they wanted, but it was very important to us that the arts were accessible for everyone. So that's one of my favorite little initiatives that we do. And then I always say, don't be scared, HA isn't just for kids. Obviously, we do programming for adults as well. And then I have a little video to show you that highlights our season. So I hope you can all see. This is a quick little 2-minute video. hope what you'll notice as you watch the video is that we have a little something for everyone. We started out with our fundraising, which I'll talk about in a moment, And then we move into our full season, which I'll go through here. We just did our first 2 fundraisers. We were honored to be selected by Bob Park and his Merry Band of Thespians to be the recipient of the funding from the Bob Park Show, which I think that Mr. Gold is probably familiar with. It was a lot of fun, and it was really beautiful to be able to shine the spotlight on local talent. So that was a wonderful experience. And then we just did our Howl at the Moon Dueling Pianos event this past Saturday. That was a lot of fun as well, and that is our largest fundraiser that we do of the year. That's another way that we fund what we do. And then we have a free experience to offer people. So this is for audiences of all ages. Big Bang Boom. Their front man is Chuck Folds, the younger brother of Ben Folds. What a talented family. And they do Kindy Rock. So it is parent-approved children's music. It's not Baby Shark. So if you've suffered through Baby Shark, as I have, this is not that. It is a lot of fun. You will be dancing. It's very interactive, and this will be at the library for free at 1:30 and 3:30 at the end of September. And then we have our 5-show season. Mike Super, who is not only one of the nicest performers I have ever met, I don't know how he does what he does. I've seen his show several times, and it does truly seem magical. Sam Bush, who is a Kentucky boy and a Romp Festival favorite, will be with us in November. The Slightly Wicked holiday show isn't Wicked. It's based off of the musical Wicked. We have 3 performers from the Broadway musical Wicked who will be singing songs from the show, plus some holiday standards. So that's our Broadway Christmas mashup. Then we have Uptown, which does everything from Motown to Bruno Mars. They are so energetic and will have you on your feet for the whole show. And Capuli Mexican Dance Company, where we feature a 10 a.m. dance or a 10 a.m. school show, will be performing for 930 children from Henderson, Webster, and Union counties that morning, and then a 7 p.m. evening show. We've moved all of our shows to weekends and earlier start times because we heard what the community wanted and we wanted to give them that. And we're being very thoughtful about how we spend the money that you guys are so gracious to give us each year. And we really want to show up where we can in the community and give you guys what you're looking for. So thank you. I don't think it was 5 minutes, but I hope it was close. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Kensington. Any questions of Kensington? Any comments? It's really one of the treasures of our community that we have the Arts Alliance, the Fine Arts Center, and these opportunities. And I'm really impressed with the summer camp. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to it being even bigger, and I think we'll divide it into 2 next year. I think we have enough kiddos that we can do a pre-camp for the littler ones and then a big camp for the Broadway babies. So
Broadway babies. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, thank you very much.
thank you so much.
Good job, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we are still searching for a replacement for the County Board of Zoning Adjustment, so stay tuned on that. But I would like to have representatives of the local Daughters of American Revolution to come up, and you wanted to make a little presentation about Constitution Week coming up.
We do. I wonder if I might could borrow Emily for a second.
And if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, just for the record.
Sure. My name is Giselle Purdy. I'm the registrar for the local General Samuel Hopkins chapter, National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. If you would just give one and take one for yourself, the panel, I appreciate it. So September the 17th to the 23rd is the anniversary of the drafting of our Constitution. So I'm giving you these bells as a reminder. On September the 17th at 4 p.m., I'm asking everyone, churches and everyone, to ring your bells because that's honoring that drafting of our Constitution by our founding fathers. It's so very important, and that's because of them we get to meet. We get to do the things we do. So very honored for Emily, and I think we have good things going on in the community, and I'm proud to be a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution. We are starting a Children of the American Revolution, so anyone knows anybody that's interested in that, you may contact us. This is my friend in, I'll say, crime, Jimmy Deal. She's also a longtime member of General Samuel Hopkins, so any ladies interested in joining, we'll help you trace your ancestry back to a patriot that served for the American cause during the Revolution. Doesn't have to be a soldier. Could have been a surveyor of the road, could have been a judge, could have been a lot of things. So, want more information, see yes. But on September the 17th, I want to hear this town ringing with bells. Thank you all very much. You have
You're
a
welcome.
blessed day.
Thank you,
We'll help
Giselle.
spread the word. Next, we have with us our Dispatch Center Director, Jordan Webb. As you all remember, we've been working with the city to upgrade our CAD program, and I think we have arrived at the moment where we can really dig into that project, and Jordan's here to give us an update, yeah?
Yes, finally. Thank you for having me. So if you all recall, last fiscal year, we did apply for the 911 Services Board grant, and you all approved for us to apply for that, and we were awarded a $130,000 grant for the total project of $248,505. So that was good news. We also contracted with Federal Engineering just to make sure that the 10-8 system solution was a good fit for Henderson, and they met with all of our law enforcement, fire department, EMS personnel, went through a very rigorous evaluation, and they did affirm that it is a good fit for Henderson. So we are here to just move forward with the project, and we just want to go ahead and procure the system, use the grant funds that are still available to us, and so the county will be responsible for what's left after the grants are applied, which will be the 25%, and the total expense for the county will be $29,626.25, which should be in the expenses for this year.
Yeah.
Should be funded, so.
It is part of our budget. We budgeted
Yes,
with
budget.
with our new fiscal year budget, and it actually ends up being a little less than we anticipated with the application of this grant, so good job, and we look forward to having even better functionality both in the city and the county. Any questions of Jordan? We have a resolution to read affirming our financial arrangement, but before we do that, anybody want to ask any questions?
No, I'm just going to say I know how tough those grants are, and you know how involved I am being my profession. So really good job. We're thankful and lucky to have somebody like you in our position.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, we will read the resolution.
A resolution accepting the proposal from 10-8 System Solutions for the purchase of a computer-aided dispatch CAD system for Henderson 911 communications in the amount of $248,505, with $130,000 of the purchase price to be paid through a state grant, and the remaining $118,505 to be split 75% by the City of Henderson and 25% by the County of Henderson, contingent upon approval by the City of Henderson Board of Commissioners. Whereas Henderson 911 Communications has determined the need to upgrade its dispatching technology to improve emergency response capabilities and public safety, and whereas a request for proposal, RFP, for a new computer-aided dispatch CAD system was issued on behalf of the Henderson 911 Communications, City of Henderson, by Federal Engineering, and whereas Federal Engineering contracted by the city to provide expertise in the solicitation, review, and negotiation of CAD system proposals, has recommended the acceptance of the proposal submitted by 10-8 System Solutions in the amount of $248,505, and whereas Henderson County 911 Communications applied for and received a grant from the Kentucky 911 Services Board in the amount of $130,000 to go toward the CAD purchase, and the remaining $118,505 will be shared between the City of Henderson, hereinafter City, and Henderson County, hereinafter County, with the city paying 75% and the county paying 25%. And whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court concurs with Federal Engineering's recommendation and deems it in the best interest of the citizens of Henderson County that the proposal from 10-8 System Solutions should be accepted. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Henderson County Fiscal Court as follows. 1, the proposal from 10-8 System Solutions in the amount of $248,505 is hereby accepted. 2, said sum shall be paid as follows: $130,000 from the Kentucky 911 Service Board grant, with the remaining balance to be 75% by the city in the amount of $88,878.75, and 25% by the county in the amount of $29,626.25. Number 3, the above acceptance and payment division is contingent upon approval by the City of Henderson Board of Commissioners. And 4, the county judge executive is authorized and directed to execute any necessary documents to effectuate the terms and intent of this resolution.
Need a motion to approve?
So second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussions or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And before you leave, Jordan, I know that an ongoing project of ours and yours is trying to improve the reception in the Roberts area with the radio system. Have you heard any progress on that or any
Yes, I
update?
do have an update on that. I'll be happy to provide you.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
today. Okay, we have some surplus from the sheriff's office, and Anthony Willett is with us. And if you've had a chance to look at this, you may or may not know, and Anthony, I'm sure, remembers that more than a decade ago, the sheriff's office was able to procure quite a bit of military surplus from, I guess, left over from the Iraq and Afghanistan conflicts.
Yes.
And almost all that equipment has now reached the end of its useful life, and it's getting harder and harder to maintain it and find parts for it. Am I characterizing that correctly?
Yes, it's getting really expensive to keep up with the equipment. We do have 3 pieces that we are going to send back to the military because they cannot be sold, they cannot be anything. In order to fix those, it's going to cost quite a bit of money to do that. So,
And the use of these vehicles and equipment was handy occasionally over the last 10 years, but not so much that it's worth incurring the cost to keep these running. And there are other options we have now for some of the duties that we sometimes relied on this military equipment for. So it's really time to let it go and get it out of the road department yard. I know Nick would be glad to see it go. So is there anything we're hanging on to?
yes, so I spoke to Nick at the road department. They're keeping like a semi, I think a lowboy, a couple other things that are useful to them. I think there's a backhoe in there as well. But yes, we talked to the road department, so they got a choice of what they wanted to keep. Whatever they didn't, then we're just going to put it in for sale. So.
Okay. You see the list there, some Humvees, some generators, things like that, larger trucks, all past their useful life. Any questions about that?
Keeping the 5-ton axle, which then there's a small one in the top.
No, I think we're getting rid of all that. I know he's keeping one of the semi trucks. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about or not.
Large one, that's
Yeah.
about
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to keep that for something else, so.
Okay, any other questions?
We're gonna get rid of the one the door's been open on for a year.
That's 100%. Oh, no, you're talking about the MRAP, the big one. Yes, that one has to be sent back. It has a lot of classified equipment on there, so we are not allowed to sell it, so.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll read a resolution.
Summary on just this one, or do you want the full
Please.
one?
If we could do summary. it'd be great.
Summary
on
would
this
be
one?
great.
Okay. A resolution declaring certain county property to be surplus and providing for the disposition thereof.
Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Lieutenant Willett? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Appreciate that.
So do I stay up for the next one, too?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to dive in? Go ahead.
So we had, I guess the simple words is, we had a drug bust, and we have a 2019 black Kawasaki that is being taken in for forfeiture, and we're putting it on for sale right now. That's just short and simple.
Okay. Want to read the summary on that one as
Well, I can't read the summary on that one because it's for forfeiture, so we have to read the whole thing.
Okay.
So, a resolution declaring certain county property to be surplus and providing for the disposition thereof. Whereas the Henderson County Sheriff's Office is the owner of certain personal property that we received through forfeiture under KRS Chapter 218A, whereas pursuant to KRS 67.0802, the fiscal court finds that it is in the best interest of the county to deem the property as surplus and provide for the disposition thereof. Whereas the Henderson Fiscal Court wishes to offer the said personal property to be sold by public auction in accordance with the law, transferred to another eligible agency, or disposed as scrap at the discretion of the Henderson County Judge Executive. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Fiscal Court, County of Henderson, Kentucky, as follows. Pursuant to KRS 67.0802, the personal property on the lists attached hereto and incorporated herein is hereby declared to be surplus. Pursuant to KRS 67.0802, the following items are hereby declared to be surplus. 2019 black Kawasaki EX 400 motorcycle. It shall be sold at a duly advertised public or online auction pursuant to all applicable laws at such time and place and in such manner as shall be arranged by the county judge executive, transferred to another eligible agency, or disposed of as scrap. The county judge executive or his designee is hereby authorized to make said arrangements. Any compensation resulting from the disposal of this property shall be distributed as per KRS 218A.4204A. And there we go.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions?
Mr. Willett, does the thing run?
Yes. The motorcycle?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Thank
You'll have a chance to bid on it if you'd like, Rich.
That was just for
I was trying to get it to have a motorcycle cop.
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Next, we're going to have second reading of the MS4 stormwater ordinance. We had first reading last, if you remember the last fiscal court meeting about wastewater or drainage, water management, something we have to do according to state law. And if there's no other questions about that, we'll read a summary and vote on it again.
An ordinance relating to the establishment of water quality and quantity parameters applicable to surface waters and regulation of stormwater runoff, including permit procedures, illicit discharge, detection and elimination, construction site control, enforcement, and penalties.
Get a motion to approve?
So moved.
I guess we need to take a roll call since it's an ordinance, so go ahead and call the roll.
All right, Magistrate Starks is absent. Magistrate Berry.
Aye.
Magistrate Southard.
Aye.
Magistrate Tompkins.
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
I'll vote aye for the record. Thank you very much. Next, if Nick Stallings would like to join us at the podium, we're going to talk about our flex fund allocation and maybe a little bit about paving season coming up. So Nick, you have a recommendation on our flex funds.
Yes, first of all, recommend that we retain the flex funds from the KYTC. This year, it's $404,000 and some change.
I move that we retain the funds.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Assume everybody in agreement with that. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we're retaining the flex funds. Now what are we spending it on?
Got it. The roads we're looking to use flex funds for is Middle Delaware Road, and that's its entirety from Upper Delaware all the way to Kentucky 812, 4.6 miles worth. We're also looking at Cord and Green Lick Road. That's from US 60 up to the last curve. That's 1.3 miles of pavement. And then we are looking at paving Jones Brothers Road. That is from Kentucky 1078 to Kentucky 416 in its entirety. That's a little over 2 miles.
And this is $400,000 in addition to the 1.4 we're
Yes.
planning to spend on our planned paving for the year out of our budget. So $1.8 million in asphalt this year. That's probably close to a record for the county, and really happy to do it. So you've heard his recommendation on how to spend the flex funds, and get a motion to approve that.
So moved.
We have motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any other new news?
The solar company Unbridled, the one that came into town first, they are currently rebuilding the roads that they destroyed while during the construction. So Spencer Thornberry, nearly the entire road is getting rebuilt. They started at the 416 end, coming back down to W and Royster. They will also rebuild the majority of Handley Road, They are going to work on portions of Knoblick from Coal Mine Road down to Peddler McDonald, and then Peddler McDonald will get nearly all completed from the railroad track back to Knoblick. So they're planning on the next week and a half, 2 weeks to have that completed. So the milling down, removing all the damaged asphalt. I went through this, me and Taylor went through this with them. We, were able to go through and determine what the sections were that were destroyed by them showing up. They had a contract, or, the ordinance is they will put it back in the original condition before they showed up. And that's the holding to that. So that's what they're working on now to get it completed. So they should be good pavement when they're done, and then their construction operations will be done at that point in time. It's just maintenance vehicles.
Excellent, and it is part of the prearranged permit they were issued, and we're hoping in many cases the end result, the roads are in better shape than
Yes.
they were before the construction started. So that's even more new paving going on in the county. So thank you. Any other questions of Nick, comments?
No, thanks for all your help doing all that. That's been a chore.
Thank you, Nick. Appreciate
Thanks.
The jail is needing a new copier agreement renewal. That is a contract, so we have to approve that. Just a renewal of their copier agreement. So can I get a motion to approve that?
So moved.
We have a
I will
motion.
ask that it be approved, subject to the pen and ink changes that were made to the contract. Every year, there's a few things that I want crossed out, and that's been done in this.
Mind amending the motion to reflect that?
It'd be subject to the handwritten changes that were.
So I move that we accept the contract, subject to the handwritten changes.
Good deal.
Thank you.
And a second? Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now we have Humane Society checking in with us, Krista Bennett, and somebody to introduce.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having us. So first thing I want to do is let you guys know that we have a new executive director. This is Lori Miller, and Lori comes to us with a bachelor degree in organizational leadership with a focus in nonprofit leadership, as well as plenty of expertise working in animal welfare. She's worked at both the Warwick County and Vanderburgh County Humane Societies, so she brings with her a wealth of experience that's going to help us get to the next level of where we're working on moving to. Our ACO, John Herron, did resign. He did leave us, unfortunately, but we did have a new animal control officer, Evan Hopgood, start yesterday. So I believe he gets sworn in tomorrow, to my understanding, so you guys will be meeting him. The guys seem really pleased with him. I think he's going to be a really good fit to the team that we have. And we're working on shelter repairs. Shelter repairs began on August 25th. We're working on getting all of the floors sanded and redone, all the kennel surfaces repainted, and all the kennel doors repaired. Future goal is to actually replace all the kennel doors, but that'll require a new grant. And then our outside kennels all have roofs, new roofs on, and the backyards all now have sunshades. So we're getting things up to speed there at the shelter that needs to be up to shelter. Our animal control activities, so calls for service. This report's covering both July and August. So 56 calls in July, 6 were bite cases, and 49 calls in August, 3 of those for aggression, and 4 of those were bite cases. And you guys should have the incident by type report that covers the rest. Our shelter operations, the number of animals entering our shelter in July was 61. So it was 49 dogs and 12 cats. Leaving the shelter in July was 80. So we actually had more leave than come in for the first time in a long time. 51 adopted, 15 reclaimed, 3 transferred to other rescues, 7 euthanized, so those bite cases, and then some for medical reasons, and then 4 that did die in care they were just too far gone when animal control picked them up. In August, we had 39 animals enter the shelter and 33 leave, so 18 adopted, 9 reclaimed, 2 euthanized, and 4 died in care. Spay and neuter surgeries, so we've been working on getting all of those done. We had 30 spay and neuters in July and 41 in August. Rabies vaccinations, 32 in July and 42 in August. And microchips implanted, 42 in July and 34 in August. So we're trying to become more of a community resource and get more of that stuff done for our community. So we have started opening up public microchip clinics to help get those microchipped as well. We have community engagement going on across the board. So we had 2 events in July. One of them was a huge adoption event and microchip clinic. We had 5 different events in August, and we have 4 events scheduled already in September, including the one this Saturday. So if you guys want to go to the Masquerade Ball and you don't have your tickets, I think there's like 15 tickets left. So buy your ticket, come on out. It should be a great time. We've got DJs and silent auctions and all kinds of fun things going on. And then the other additional information I just wanted to share, Officer Moore has a speaking engagement tonight at the Love Your Neighbor meeting at Audubon Kinzone at 6 o'clock tonight. We've moved our animal control office to the back of the building per the officer's request. Now they have their own entrance to go in and out and bring animals in and out, and they have their own little intake area and some temporary housing crates back there so that they could put animals in until they're ready to move them to quarantine or whatever other part of the general population. And that seems to be working really well for them to have their own space back there. And then we formed a feral cat committee. So we have a couple board members, a couple employees, some community members, one of the ladies from New Hope are all partnering together, and they've started to meet to develop a TSNR program, which is Trap, Spay, Neuter, and Release. I know that was one of the big things I heard from you guys last time we were here about the complaints you get about feral cats. So we are working on a program to both manage feral cat colonies and do a Trap, Spay, Neuter, and Release program. So that's all the big things that we have going on. Any questions?
Well, if you don't mind stepping to the mic and
sorry.
and
Yeah,
give us
let
a
Lori
little more of your
take it.
background and goals here.
Yeah, so I have a pretty long history of working with rescues as well as Westwood Woods Nature Preserve, where I worked with birds of prey and other wildlife. Happy to be back with dogs and cats. This is an awesome responsibility and a really big one. I understand that we have a lot of catching up to do as far as, animal welfare practices go in shelters. As she mentioned, I'm really looking forward to getting involved with the community here in Henderson. I reside in Evansville, but I do love crossing that money-saving bridge and spending time over here. Also looking forward to that TNR program because I know that it could benefit the city as well as its the cats, the stray cats in the area. So really just fixing up the image of the Humane Society and helping folks be more of a resource for the community instead of just being seen as a dog pound. So.
And in the past, we've had executive directors who've taken it upon themselves to become certified animal control officers as well, to provide lend another hand to that effort. And I don't know whether you had that intention or not, but I might recommend it.
I did not, just because I do see a difference there between animal control and the Humane Society. I would like to see the Humane Society's role in Henderson, like I said, be more of a resource for pet owners, keeping pets with their owners. So we're looking into a food bank for pet owners, our TNR program, and other community outreach efforts. So I would like to put all of my energy into the Humane Society. I'm definitely available to help animal control in any capacity that I can, but I am not looking to become a certified officer to answer that question.
Is there a chance this afternoon between 2 and 3 you could come back by and sit in my office and just talk strategy?
I do. I am interviewing for 2 kennel techs today at that time. So we can look at another day. I'm sorry?
Between 3 and 4, perhaps?
I have one at 3:30.
How about 1:30?
I should.
It won't take long.
Let me look at my calendar, okay? I do have to go to the news as well. So I hit the ground running. It's very busy. So we have our news spot at noon and 2 interviews that follow.
If not this afternoon, tomorrow sometime.
Yes.
Just to talk a little bit more in depth.
Absolutely. I'd love to drop by. Yeah.
Awesome.
And she's planning a ride-along with the animal control officers to fully understand what they do and how she can support them along.
Right. We have a good crew, and I fully expect the new officer to also dive right in.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking for speaking for fiscal court, I know we're just looking for stability and
Absolutely.
forward progress, and because the health of the Humane Society helps the work of animal control.
Which helps the
Hand.
city, yeah.
So, last several years have been interesting path, but we wish you nothing but the best, and your success is our success. Any other questions?
Ms. Bennett, yeah, I've got a couple calls lately about spade neutering. And of course with SNPs, I guess it's closed. It's no, I'm talking about affordable.
Yes.
Well, I'm
You wanna
sorry.
go ahead?
You may speak. Go ahead, I'm so sorry.
I guess my question is there any other option out there that can save them, I don't really remember what the spaying, I thought it was about $200, $300 or something like that.
It's gone up exponentially, and that's a nationwide issue. There's a national vet shortage, so finding clinics, especially ones that can provide low cost, is difficult. I know that Vanderburgh Humane Society does offer a low-cost clinic for the public, and then we have our transport every week, which
Yeah,
is
so
on.
right now, we are transporting to Butler County, which is Morgantown, Kentucky, and they have a low-cost spay-neuter clinic right there. It's $25 for cats and $35 for dogs. And that's where we're sending a majority of ours to. We do still get some done here locally with Cottingham because he's our main vet here in town. But that's where a majority of ours are going to. We would love to establish a low-cost spay and neuter clinic here in Henderson. We don't have the ability to do it in our current building, so that's like a future plan for when we can build a new building and do that, but.
I guess my question is though, can they bring their pet to you guys? Y'all take it to?
Not yet, but we're hoping to get there really soon. So so unfortunately, what happened in the past is we were adopting animals out on a foster to adopt program where they could go ahead and adopt them before they were spayed and neutered. And then we would schedule the spay and neuter and get them done, and somewhere along the line, that ball got dropped. So we have a backlog of animals that are already out there in homes that are not spayed and neutered that we are having to get. There's like 100 animals on that list. So we're trying to get through that backlog of all the ones that we've already adopted out. Once we do that, I would love to be able to include, because we'll have spots at that point on our transport that we can then help the county and we can transport for them. I would love to get to that point, but we've still got to work through that, cleaning up that backlog.
Well, thank you, but my answer to them was nothing I was aware of, so I
Right.
just make sure I didn't lie.
Unfortunately, for the
Yeah.
time being, but that's one of our goals. for the
You know,
future.
affordable.
Yeah,
spay.
so Butler County does accept from the public though. So they can actually call Friends of Butler County and make an appointment themselves and take the animal there to be spayed and neutered. I mean, it's about an hour and 15-minute drive, but that is the most affordable place. They also do rabies vaccinations for only $5. They'll do the microchip free, so it's $5 to register, and then they do their annual vaccines for free. So for, $40, you can get everything that you need, done. So it's definitely a good deal, and as soon as we get through all this backlog that we were cleaning up, I would love to be able to offer the public service as well to help them.
But we haven't never got a vet to sign on to,
Not to do a low-cost one around here, no. So they do, so I think Dr. Cottingham does give us a little discount as a nonprofit, but I think it's like $90 for a dog and $75 for a cat. So, I mean, still better than $200, but not as good as $25 and $35. So that's our goal. We're trying to get there. And like I said, that's what we are working on is we figure that every program that we institute that helps the community keep their animals is going to help animal control have that much less work to do. So that's kind of what some of the focus is on, fixing some of the things in the community, giving them resources to keep their animals, making things affordable, providing education, doing spay-neuter programs. If we can reduce the number of dogs getting dropped off and things like that, then animal control's workload lessens and we can finally get that.
can I
under
assume
control.
you're full again? You're full right now?
So we are actually not too full right now. So we did a really big adoption event the very last weekend in July and got our numbers down quite a bit. And so we are full right now because we have part of the kennel shut down for shelter repairs. So I have a whole run at a time closed right now as a repair in that area. And so we are full because we've had to shift animals around. Luckily, we've had some daycare partners that have fostered for us to get the dogs out. So we're not at 80 dogs anymore, but we're still roughly around 60.
Yeah. Well, Ms. Miller, I'm looking forward to seeing you or hearing you on Speak Up, to promote all the events you got coming up, so.
Yes.
We're going to do a lot of things, great things for pets and their people in Henderson and surrounding area.
We appreciate it.
We're on
And welcome aboard.
Speak Up the last Wednesday of every month, so that'll be her taking over this month. That's all right.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Bennett.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes. I'm
So I
sorry.
was looking over your expenses, and I see rabies on here, and animal control. Why would we be seeing rabies shots with animal control? I understand it, Humane Society, but I don't understand why the animal controls.
It's a county ordinance that they have the rabies vaccination, so it's always been in the animal control budget.
So if there's a reclaim from animal control, it is required of them to have the rabies shot done within 7 days, I believe. So if they were to reclaim their pet from animal control that was running at large, and they determine that they don't have a rabies vaccine, they have to get it.
But
I
they,
understand, but
the
it's-
the
it's-
reclaim, the person reclaiming the dog pays that.
Yes.
Because the rabies are done at the vets.
Okay.
Well, so they shouldn't automatically be getting rabies shots when they're brought in by animal control, right?
No, because animal control cannot do rabies shots. Rabies shots has to be done at a vet.
So there are no rabies shots being charged to animal control's budget.
They actually were in the budget for the prior years as well, so
Probably shouldn't have been.
gotcha. Yeah, they've been in the budget, and my understanding was they were in the budget because it's a county ordinance that they have to have rabies shots.
Right,
So,
but
yeah.
that's paid for by anybody who adopts from the Humane Society.
Right.
Yes.
Right?
Should
Yeah,
be.
so we
Or
can,
brings them in privately.
we could absolutely look at that. That was when the budget was due pretty quickly after I
Okay.
took over as president, and we just kind of took what was there and updated it the best we could, so.
Gotcha.
We can absolutely
Just
look at that.
clarify.
Mhm.
Just
Yeah,
clarify.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, you have your coroner's report, and I'll ask Coroner Patterson if she'd like to add anything to the report. Welcome.
Good morning.
Well, according to our statistics for August, we didn't have as busy a month, which is a good thing. And all of our deaths for the month were all natural causes. Per usual, our cremation signings that we do are over and above what we work as cases. Nothing major of any of those. We did have 2 incidents. We picked up bones for September already, so those are at the medical examiner's office.
Gotcha. And we did get some help with a deceased lady who needed some help.
I'm still working on that.
Okay.
It's still not finalized, but in the works.
Well, as you know, we have a budget for what we call pauper burials, people whose family are either not able to be located or cannot afford even a cremation.
Correct.
And we have a budget to help with those sometimes. So does the city. So sometimes, depending on the circumstances, the city covers the cost, and sometimes we do. We make every effort to contact
Correct.
family members or utilize some assets of the deceased to help cover the cost if we can, but sometimes there's just no other solution. And Coroner Patterson is working on one of those right now, so hopefully, and it could be one of those where the city is able to help us with that, so,
I'm in hopes.
yeah.
Any questions?
So, the bones you found, some of them were in my district, and I've heard that you found pieces of bones, and I've heard you found bodies. And what could you?
We found pieces, small pieces of bone, looked to me like human teeth. But like I say, we have sent those to the medical examiner's office in Louisville, so I have not gotten any reports back yet, because that last set from your area just went today.
Okay.
So, someone was out looking for arrowheads and found teeth, and it's like, thanks.
Understand.
You never know.
That is
Never
true.
know.
So we'll wait and see.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have the normal sheriff's monthly reports. in your packet. These are the normal reports. Entertain a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Gold, your report.
Judge, I only have one check today, so Emily, I apologize. Normally, I have lots of money to hand you, but today I only have one check of $79.62 for interest. Brings the fiscal year total to date to $46,367.27. Thank you.
Motion to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Treasurer Ryder.
There are no fund transfers today. I do have claims. From the road fund to Bluegrass Commercial Door, $1,926. This is for timer locks for the Sandy Lee Watkins Park restroom project and is to come from the Parks Grants appropriation line. From the jail fund to Advanced Document Solutions, $848.09. This is for the copier agreements and is to come from the Data Processing Equipment appropriation line. To the Kentucky Jailers Association, $1,025. This is for the 2025 Fall Conference registrations and is to come from the Staff Training Travel Conferences appropriation line. To the U.S. Bank, which is the credit card, $4,409.60. The majority of this is to come from the Equipment Repairs Maintenance and the Staff Training Travel Conferences appropriation lines.
Motion to approve claims.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other questions of Treasurer Ryder? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any old business. We will open it up to good of the county. I will say that now that we have started the Planning Commission process, both for the proposed moratorium for wind turbine applications, as well as the eventual development of an ordinance, we cannot take any more comments at fiscal court meetings until that is completed. You do have the opportunity to as you did, anybody who wanted to speak at the public hearing that was just held on the moratorium. There will be another public hearing coming up regarding the fact-finding the Planning Commission will do for the potential ordinance. Plenty of chances to speak, but here at fiscal court, we have to defer to those and not have any new comments made, or else we risk having to start the public hearing process all over again. But again, you'll have plenty of time to speak at the upcoming public hearings that the Planning Commission will schedule. Other than that, does anybody have anything they'd like to say for good of the county? Please introduce yourself.
Shannon Hill, 16751 Bluff City Road, Henderson, and I will tell the truth. In regards to the last fiscal court meeting when Jeremy Harms was here with Geronimo Power, some questions were asked of him of the vegetative buffer. Do you know if those dead trees have been replanted?
I do not.
Okay. In regards to the high grass concerns, do we know if all of that has been addressed and taken care of? His excuse was because of the amount of rain that we had. You know, now we're in a drought, so there should be no reason why that cannot be addressed.
I do know Randy Tassa from Coates was alerted to this. He has contacted the construction companies, and they have a certain amount of time to address this, and we can double check on that.
Okay. Harms also said he had met with the Roberts Fire Department, and he did a run-through of solar panels, voltages, and what to expect if there's a thermal event. Do you know what fire departments he has going to meet with besides the Roberts?
I do
Fire
not,
department?
But I would assume Cairo, and we can double check on whether they plan to do that, but I know Chief Denton is in communication with other fire departments, so we can
Okay,
double check.
so, and the reason for some of these questions, of course, everyone is, I'm sure, aware of the events this weekend in Newburgh. And whenever you look, there was 23 agencies. And if you look at the amount of fire departments that were involved in the incident, of course, we're going to have to look at, and I want to see what's in our emergency plan, and to make sure that all of our surrounding volunteer fire departments are properly equipped, properly trained, so we don't have, basically what happened this weekend. The very first thing that they did, of course, with the fire department, you put water on a fire. That's the very first pictures that were shown. That was the last thing that they were supposed to be doing. So that was where the non-training comes into play. Harms also said that officials are in talks with his company to ensure fire departments have the needed equipment. Do you know if that has transpired?
I know that the Roberts Volunteer Fire Department and Chief Denton were in negotiations with both solar companies represented to purchase, I believe, a side-by-side. I think they are working through that partnership to get that bought. That was the one piece of special equipment that I think that Chief Denton mentioned to me. So I think they're working on that right now.
But wouldn't the other fire departments, basically all in Henderson County, if they're going to be the ones that's called in to assist with the fire, wouldn't a survey need to be done with all of those fire chiefs and those departments, and then equipment and training supplied to all of those departments?
Yeah, could be. There's a monthly chiefs meeting. We can bring that up at the next meeting.
Okay.
But I think that what Chief Denton mentioned to me, and I think the equipment they have on hand right now is pretty indicative of what all departments have. And the only thing he said he needed specifically was potentially a side-by-side, because there may be parts of fields that they need to access that aren't easily accessible from any road, so they'd have to use a 4x4 to get back, a side-by-side to get back there. That was really the only special thing that he said they needed.
So you talk about the fire chief meetings. Are those public meetings?
I think so, but you can ask Chief Denton or David Garber, who is on the board of Cairo. He's president of the Chiefs Association.
Okay, and where are those meetings held at?
They're moved around. They're different locations
Are they
each time.
publicized? I mean, are they
I think it is
publicized?
among the chiefs. I'm not sure whether they're necessarily public meetings. They're not. These are not government entities, so they are not required to post anything like that. But I'm sure you can if you ask him to attend, and he'll tell you where the next one is and when it's scheduled.
Okay. Then I'm going to go to the issue of when he was here speaking, he was talking about the 4,000 panels that had been damaged by hail, and then, of course, the others that were damaged with gunshot. Do you know if there has been any soil or water testing on any of the ground to see if there's any contamination or hazards, and basically comparing new samples with the initial baseline data?
I don't know. State EPA is in charge of those processes when it comes to industrial accidents.
Okay. What was the process for dismantling or removing or replacing the damaged panels?
You can contact the companies. I'm not an expert
So
in that.
is that not in any type of, in whatever they propose whenever they're going to do a project, is that not in their site plan or in their project plan?
What exactly?
Or,
Replacing panels?
well, whenever they dismantled the damaged panels, then they had to be removed. And then, of course, there was replacing of the new panels. What is that whole process? Who gathered and transported the panels? What was the route of the transportation? Did they travel through Henderson? Is the transport company documented?
That would be a company SOP, standard operation procedure.
Okay.
I would think.
Right, these are private companies, and I think more to your point too, any disposal of solar panels, I think, is heavily regulated by US EPA, and they can only be taken to landfills that meet those specifications, none of which exist in Henderson County.
Right,
So-
but in the future, I mean, this should be a model, or, I don't want to say a lesson, something to learn from before we're making votes or approving projects, to make sure all of these procedures are in place so we can be proactive instead of trying to clean up the mess afterwards.
Well, again, these are all covered, anything with potentially hazardous materials is covered by state and federal EPA regulations. They're strict. We are obviously a community of many companies that deal in hazardous materials all the time. They are also covered by many of those same laws, so that it's not necessarily a county function when there are so many layers of
Right, but do
federal
they not have
regulation.
to provide any of that to fiscal court or to any of the committees where they're applying for permits or approval or?
I think part of their permit through the State Public Service Commission also includes adhering to all state and federal policies when it comes to disposal, repairs,
Okay.
all of that, so.
Mr. Southern, what did you say it was called? You said SOP,
That's
what?
standard operation procedure. Unfortunately, I worked in a factory for many years, and we did a lot of that stuff.
Okay. Because like that one, a test should be performed on each incident until it's verified safe for heavy metals, PFAS analysis, any changes in soil fertility. I have a lot. These are things that I'm going to be looking to write text amendments while we're in this solar moratorium of things that need to be added.
I think it's important to keep in mind that federal and state EPA has jurisdiction over that. So I
Right.
would recommend that you contact them and understand what they do and how
Okay.
they do it and how it's governed
Right, and see
before you
of all
submit
of these
something that's
before.
already covered. Yes, ma'am.
Right, okay. And then I guess just to see what's in our place, and I guess just from previous communications, I guess you're the one that's tasked with the job of following the project, or I don't know how to call it.
Well, you're going to have to be more specific than that.
Well, I mean, when there has been a problem, or like whenever I said you were driving around and looking.
The county government is in no way, shape, or form, and Judge, you can correct me if I'm wrong, of monitoring or tracking a private business on whether they follow the EPA standards or not. We don't have that jurisdiction. I mean, for lack of better analogies, they can tell me to go pound sand, or the judge.
Right,
But
I
we
don't mean for EPA, I'm talking about for our county ordinances, for our local ordinances. I mean,
think
is that,
If I could interject, Master Tompkins has taken it upon himself to be as much of a liaison as
Okay.
he can be. I admire all the work he's done that way, but we will respond to any complaints we get. Again, we have many manufacturers.
right, and I
companies.
apologize for not knowing that. I mean, I just came in on the wind project, and then just from previous conversations, I mean, I haven't went back far enough to do all of that research, so I didn't know how that was.
I think to answer your question, he's not formally tasked to do that.
Okay.
But because these two projects are in his district, he's taken upon
okay.
himself to help any way he can.
Okay. So do we have, is there a formal, like, if a landowner or a community member has, I don't want to say a complaint, I don't like to use negative words, but basically a complaint or a problem, do we have a formal process for them? I mean, I know just to contact codes, but then I was also told he is a one-man show and he is the only person that's in that office. So can we
They
not?
can also call our office too.
Okay, so do we have something though that we're documenting that, I mean, because it's document. I mean, this complaint was made, or this problem was made on this date, it's been rectified or it hasn't been rectified. I mean, as the time goes on, if it's not documented somewhere, and if we don't have, I don't see how we can go out of the moratorium because we've not, made corrections or solutions or how things need to change to best serve the Henderson County residents.
Well, remember the moratorium, our purpose for the moratorium we stated was to monitor, spend the next 2 years monitoring drainage as it potentially could impact public infrastructure or create problems with neighbors that might need to be addressed. And we are in the process of contracting with Frank Williams, hydrological engineer, who hasn't begun his work yet because we haven't had enough rain to really make it worth his while to date, but that will be coming up soon when we get into the fall. We are looking for any kind of complaints on road glare. That was another item that we were going to study. Both our road crews, sheriff's deputies, Master Tompkins, myself, and we have driven through those fields many times. We get any complaints of road glare, we're checking it. I have not yet. I don't know whether you have specifically.
I haven't received any complaints.
Yeah, so, but we will monitor those and report back when we get to the end of the moratorium.
And what made me think of that was the EPA had their own system. There was a link that you could click, and if someone had ash, it was their way to report the ash or to report whatever was found, or if they had been exposed to any of the chemicals or whatever.
State EPA, our state EPA has a hotline too.
Yeah, but that made me think, do we have anything in place for our residents to make any type of, it wouldn't be an EPA complaint, it would just be some type of communication, and then that's a good way to document, because once it's online and it's entered online, it's going to be easy accessible and, to put into a spreadsheet or, a report of some kind. So
I think at this point, Randy Tass would be the first point of contact.
Okay.
And he documents the calls he gets.
Okay.
And especially when he makes a visit, anything that requires him to go to the site and visit. That's one option, the first option for anybody that might have a complaint.
And a good suggestion would be whenever these companies have to pay their fee, whether it be their application fee, permit fee, whatever it is, some of those funds maybe could be used to add another person to be employed in his office, or an assistant, or something to do clerical, to do support, to do something so he can do the administrative stuff and not necessarily the clerical stuff. So it shouldn't be the citizens or our taxes paying for that. It should be the companies that's causing the extra work to have to be done. They should be the one that's taxed in paying that.
Well, obviously they pay taxes right now into our fund, which funds Randy's office. But it's interesting you say this, because we're already looking at hiring him part-time help.
Oh, okay, great.
We've been talking about that for a couple months now, so.
Okay.
It will probably happen.
That's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else for good of the county? Okay, we're done. I'll go around the horn and Master at Southern.
First thing I'd like to do is say, Emily, congratulations. Well, you filled up the front bench. That says a lot. Well, you overfilled it. Some of them had to go back to work, I guess. But it's good to see young people that want to do the right thing, and it's obvious you do. You passed out the bells, and you got them all distributed out, but you got picked by your school to represent them, and that says a lot about you. And again, congratulations. You picked where you're going to go eat?
You're going to lunch with me at Lionsgate.
You're going with the judge. Keep him straight if you would. And
all tasks.
the harvest has started. again, give us a break. We're going to be in your way and we're slow. We don't like to be on the roads any more than y'all like us there, I promise. But other than that, all's good in District 3.
Thank you. Master Tompkins?
Well, I'm just going to echo the statements that Tim said. Congratulations, and it goes without saying, but you are obviously an intrinsically motivated young lady, because you don't get to where you are without doing the right things when nobody's paying attention, right? That's a choice you make, which leads back to what you've been taught at home. But again, I'm not taking anything away from you, because you have to make those choices, so good for you. Very well done. I hope that you continue to do so, because that will lead success and it will build on itself, right? So very proud of you, glad to have young people like you in our community, and wish you continued success. That being said, starting pavement, like Nick said, to correct the issues of the road. We're also, getting into the fall where, like Tim said, there's a lot of farmers on the road. Please pay attention, slow down, be courteous. If you're in that big a hurry, maybe you should have left a little bit earlier. So, that being said, all's good and two.
Master Puppet.
Thank you, Judge. Congratulations, Emily, but I'm going to put something in perspective. This program's been in effect for 14 years, the Judge's Scholar, 14 years. And I was just trying to, how we started out, you started out doing just one a month, I think, is where we started. And I was trying to come up with some sort of figure as to how special you are this award. I think there's less, this is the best guess was 288 students have come through here and been selected as a Judge's Scholar. A proclamation, pretty big deal for as I'm concerned, Someday I hope I'll get one for doing something good, But that's yet to be seen. So, but anyway, just I know your parents are proud. You got to be, because you're a very distinguished citizen now, from my viewpoint. So continue the good work, and again, congratulations. And Judge, all is good in the fourth.
I think to your point, that's 288 out of thousands of students that have come through over the last 14 years. Master Barry.
Always nice to go last.
Well, you don't have Master Starks here to steal your thunder.
I know he always covers it. That's true. Congratulations, Emily. I know everybody said it, but it's your day. Out of your whole school, it's your day. And that's pretty important. And family, we're glad to have you here. Shows good support for her. It's like a nice young lady. She's going to eat a lot. Where are you going to lunch? That's
Lions
important. Lions? Oh, that's right. You have Lions Club today. You get to sing and all that, right?
Yep.
You were going to tell her that, right?
I wasn't.
You wasn't?
No.
Now she's not going. No.
You don't have to sing.
But anyway, congratulations. We're glad to have you. Glad you're here. Thanks, Nick, for the hard work on the roads. Ready to get that out of the way. And thank everybody for being here. Thanks the Sheriff's Department, Sheila, Coroner, the jailers back there, Bruce. Thank you for being here. It's a nice day outside, so we'll get out here in a little bit. Judge, thanks. All's good in District Court.
Thank you. Mr. Gold.
Thank you, Judge. Things are good in the county attorney's office. Busy. We've got several folks out on maternity leave, so there's something in the water in our child support division, I think. But things are working out well, and we've got a great team that's all stepping up to pitch in and make sure that everything is still going in the right direction and we're not missing a beat. So I'm really proud of the folks that I work with and everything they do to step up to help the people of this community. And Emily, Holy Name's an incredible school. Like, there are a lot of really exceptional students there. And being picked to be the one is a huge deal. That's awesome. Congratulations. And we've said a lot of things today about how you're the future. My challenge to you is I want you to think about ways that you can be the now. Ways that you can affect, and I know you're already doing it, the ways that you can affect positively your friends, family, school, and community today, not waiting for some random future when it's time for you to actually do those sort of things. Go ahead and do it now, because I know that you can, your school is seeing that you're already doing those things, and I want to challenge you to take that and make that even bigger and broader, and we're all excited to see what your future has in store for you. Other than that, things are good in the county attorney's office, Judge.
Emily, I'll echo all the praise. It's a big deal, and glad you're with us today, and congratulations to everybody. I know she's embarrassed probably at this point with all this praise, but we don't care. We're going to lavish it on thick, and well-deserved. I look forward to hosting you for lunch and seeing another aspect of our community where people are trying to do good things in Lions Club and civic organizations. It's amazing to me how many adults don't quite know everything that regular people do here just to try to make it better. And we appreciate them all, and you'll get a first-hand look. And so looking forward to lunch with you and your parents at Lions Club. Many of you know that yesterday was a big day in the county. We had an official visit from the United States Secretary of Transportation, Sean Duffy, who rescheduled 3 times to come and get a first-hand look at I-69, its corridor, both on the Indiana side, on the Kentucky side, all the construction going on, and learn our desires to move up the timeline on building the actual bridge over the Ohio, how the federal government could help. He was very open. Other than Vice President Alvin Barkley, we're not sure in the history of Henderson County that a sitting member of President's cabinet has ever visited our community. Chuck Stinnett and Frank Boyette, who are historians here, we talked that over, and we can't recall anything like that. So it's quite a day. A lot of attention for the I-69 project because of it. Renewed commitment, or even more enthusiastic commitment from leadership in Indiana was heard, and that's always a great thing to hear because this whole thing is a partnership. And it was just a solid day. As you all know, I've been advocating for this for a long time, 16 years on this project, and I wasn't sure I'd ever see a scene like yesterday where you had the U.S. Secretary of Transportation speaking, and behind them were 5 members of Congress, the department's transportation secretaries from both Indiana and Kentucky, a governor of Indiana, all in one place saying the same thing, singing out of the same hymnal on I-69. It was quite gratifying and satisfying. And please be looking forward to the governor of Kentucky, Andy Beshear, scheduling a ribbon cutting very soon on Section 1. They're that close to finishing, so it was a great day. It did prompt me to remember something I wanted to clarify because we're probably going to be getting these questions soon. The roundabouts up on 60 are in the county, obviously, and the project team has asked us more than a year ago to decide what we wanted in the roundabouts, what kind of landscaping, any kind of signage. You see all the work that's been done on the roundabouts on 2nd Street and how the city's going to utilize that as a gateway. And we have worked with them. Nick Stallings and I both conferred a lot on what our answer would be there. And we have a plan to, in some ways, kind of show a similar style of signage as the city to foster a sense of continuity there. Maybe not quite the same size, but and also to create very low maintenance options so that they stay looking good. You know, sometimes the more ornate you make something, the easier it is for it to get a little scruffy, as we've all seen. But none of that's going to happen until the beginning of Section 2 begins, the building of the actual bridge, because there's money in the budget for Section 2 to do that for us, cover all those costs for us, so that the county doesn't necessarily have to pay to do all that. Which means that in the interim, those medians, those inner circles in the traffic circles are going to be planted up with, native grasses and wildflowers and things like that, just to kind of as a placeholder until we get to what we actually want to do. We thought it was best to wait and use the Ohio River Crossings budget to pay for all that. So in case you wonder what's going to go in the middle of the roundabouts out on 60, the answer is to be determined. But we do have the beginnings of a plan to make it look good. And that is the first interchange that people will encounter when they come heading south from Indiana. So we want to make it not only a gateway, but a big welcome to Henderson County. That's kind of going to be the theme. So just FYI, if anybody asks you what's going in those traffic circles, in those roundabouts, that's the answer right now. So other than that, I do not have anything to report otherwise. But I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor can leave, and we were glad you're with us today.